Hey y'all, Mike Garcia here, and we're here at Everoak Farm. Been getting a few inquiries about our nursery setup, so I figured I'd take the chance now and do a whole video on how our nursery setup is. We're getting ready to start seeds here starting October 5th. So this is our summer nursery right now, what we have. It's mostly things for a lot of our agroforestry systems, and some things that we've just been nurturing and getting ready to sell for our plant sale that we're planning on having in September. But yeah, let's get into the basics of our whole nursery setup. So we use these 50-foot caterpillar tunnels as our nursery from Farmer Friends. This is the classic model with the lift kit, has the center purlins, the wind braces, and yeah, like I said, that wind kit. We do have a second tunnel that we're going to get ready to put it into our second nursery to expand it. Previously we were using it as a chicken brooder and to raise our pigs, but we now moved away from raising pigs, and I'm actually going to have a different chicken brooding setup and move it elsewhere on the farm. So yeah, here it is. So yep, 14 foot. Yeah, I believe these tunnels are 14 feet wide. To the top, I think they're about 10 feet to the top. Down the center, we do have one of these high hanging nursery hoses here. We use just cement, or it's the, what are they called? Why can't I think of it right now? These cinder blocks. There we go. Cinder blocks as our nursery stand, and we just use these pallets, and that's essentially it. Right now the nursery, we have a bunch of lemon eucalyptus, roselle, some dado peppers, katuk, some mango seedlings popping through, a good amount of papaya, our eggplant that we're actually going to bump up into some 2-inch pots and get them transplanted in the next couple of weeks. Some moringa starts that need to get bumped up into 1-gallon pots, some pre-sprouting sugar cane, some herbs that need TLC, peppers. These are actually our fall peppers. Some more eucalyptus I'm starting. This is Eucalyptus grandis, which I think another common name is rose gum. I gotta look into it. But yeah, Eucalyptus grandis, some entomoya seeds that I'm starting, some mulberry, okra, more lemon eucalyptus, and inga bean. So this is what we're looking at right now for our nursery, what we have in here. Let me show you some of the other propagation mix and trays and other things we use in this nursery setup. Oh, another thing I want to add too, our nursery, we use a 30% shade cloth, and I keep that 30% shade cloth year round. The winter months I should probably take it down. I just don't put in the time. I don't see a huge difference of bringing it up or down, but for the most part we keep a 30% year round. The second half, or not the second half, but I would say about a quarter of the tunnel I lay in shade thick, because that's typically the area that we're working in, so I can have that shade. I want that area to be more shady, just to make it more comfortable to work in here. And yeah, that's essentially a quick overview to what's happening above the tunnel or within the tunnel as well. But yeah, right here, this is our germination chamber. Right now this is out of commission. I actually got to get a new freezer, but all we do is get a deep freezer. It's kind of softened now. Remove the shelves, and then we run these Johnson controllers here, which one? Yep, here it is. We run these Johnson controllers, which controls the temperature and the humidity. During the summer months, we put all of our cooler season stuff in there, mostly lettuce. Lettuce is what we use the most, just to get that consistent germination. We put it at 68 degrees Fahrenheit, put in the germ chamber for 3 days. At the end of day 3, we pull out. By day 4, day 5, they all fully emerge and get near almost 100% germination. But nothing complicated. We also keep a fan in there, and then I keep a crock pot in there as a heating element, just to, in the cooler season, it does get a little too cold in here to have that. And then also during December, January, when we're starting our warm season crops, everything will get started in the germ chamber. Here's our nursery bench. It's a little messy right now. Like I said, we're getting ready to bump up our eggplants here soon. Here's some fertilizer that I'll be using for the eggplants when we bump them up. But essentially we put our propagation mix or whatever we're using to fill in pots, fill it up here, and then yeah, this is essentially our tabletop system that we, or tabletop that we use to work on. Just a bunch of different pots and different types of trays. The trays that we mainly use here a lot, we use these 128 Winstrip trays from Neversink Tools. We absolutely love these trays. These are fantastic. I used to use the standard tops tray, but they always get hammered. They last like maybe 2 seasons if you're lucky. This lasts a lifetime. And they're super durable, they're reusable. We use grease pens to mark on here what the trays are. But for the most part, we use 128 cells, and then we also use 72 cells. I do want to get 50 cells because there's some things I just rather have a bigger plant start. But for the most part, 128 we use for peppers and a lot of our brassicas and herbs. The 72s we'll mostly use for like eggplants, tomatoes, and squash for now. But like I said, I want to get 50 cell trays. We always use these shallow trays. We used to do a lot of microgreens. We stepped away doing microgreens, but what we now use these trays for is as a bottom tray for these wind strips, just because the roots kind of come in contact with the wood here, and I'd rather avoid that. I notice sometimes when it comes in contact, it just gets funky since these boards and these pallets are treated. We do paper pots here, so these are all the paper pot tray. We have the drop seeder for it, and that's in there. Here's backups on 4-inch pots as well. We mostly for pots, and what we do bumping up here, we'll use 2-inch pots, 4-inch pots, 1 gallons, and then once in a while we'll bump up to 3 gallons. But for the most part, anything going into the garden or I'm transplanting, I'm usually using a 2-inch or 4-inch. On occasion, I will do some crops or when I'm bumping up into a 1 gallon. But we're mostly retailing stuff in 4-inch pots, 1 gallons, and 3 gallons. But yeah, that's essentially it. Pretty simple, straightforward, bootstrap. Keep a stash of propagation mix here. This is the propagation mix that we use for our seed starts. And then anything that we usually use to bump up, I'll mix with compost or old used spent propagation mix. And then we also have another mix here that's a lot more coarse for things that we bump up. But I want to go back to this high hose. I highly recommend getting this. I'll put a link down below of the exact place that I purchased this hose. It's just great having things off the ground and be able to slide this down, and it just makes watering a lot easier. Previously, before, we used to have the hose dragging through the floor and it was such a pain. So, but yeah, y'all, that's essentially it with our nursery setup. If you have any other questions about it, leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and share. And we'll see you next time. Take care, y'all.